doing like a big gig or whatever, and you tell your girl, she'll be like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
See?
She's like, "Oh, we're probably gonna go to McDonald's." She's like, "I'm probably gonna take the girls to McDonald's or to the park."
That's
like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do this," and it's like, "Oh, okay."
So I'm glad that it's not just
No, well, I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one.
Right.
He's always like, "Man,
we get it.
There you go.
We do it to impress you.
Yeah,
you're the one we're trying to impress the
Yeah.
most.
absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely, because I want that one day to come around and, my girl be like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You nailed that gig? Like, fuck yeah!"
I give credit where credit is due.
Yes, but at this point, I'm no longer searching for that because there's no point. No, like for reals, there's no
right.
Like
you do it for yourself.
Yeah,
you do it
it's
for
just
yourself?
like I'm doing it for myself, and it's like because when I would try to do it for her, the work wouldn't come out the way I want it to because I was thinking of impressing her, and it's like why am I trying to impressing her? Like I already got her the ring, like it's cool. Right. Got to impress myself.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
The time is all she really wants. They want the time. The time.
No, I mean, and I also come from a family where it's like, look, Mom and Dad, I got an A, and it's like, well, why isn't it an A plus? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's hard.
Put it like this: I thought I was the man showing her around like L.A. I was like, "Yo, check out this cool sushi spot." She looked at me and she was like, "Oh, that's cute. Here, I'm gonna show you the real sushi spot." So everything I thought I was showing her like cool spots. Like, she ended up showing me, and I was like, damn.
The first time I had dumplings was with you guys.
Yeah.
Here, around here.
Right. So, she, it's one. So the whole point of that was, like, here I was trying to impress, but she's already kind of seen it. So, even with the artwork, it's like there's no point in me trying to impress her. If she likes it, cool. If not, then cool, too.
Yeah. It comes from a place... So my mom used to complain about my dad all the time because my dad was like that.
No.
My dad would not flinch. You could not impress my dad for anything. My dad would be like, "Oh, cool. Okay, good for you." Not to dumb it down or make you feel bad. But my dad was just so cultured and so well-traveled and knew every genre of music and theater and traveling. There was nothing that would faze him, So... when you get to a point where it's like, yeah, like I've lived, I've seen it, I've been there, I've done that. When somebody's like, "Hey, look at me," and it's like, "Oh, cool," but you're not really impressed anymore, and it's like it's a double-edged sword.
Why do we even try?
Right? It's a super double-edged sword because my mom would be like, "Man, your dad, like he's such a, he won't flinch." But it's like, it's the man. What do you buy the man that has everything?
We don't want anything. It's we don't want anything.
You just but you get to a
there's certain
point,
things we want. They don't cost anything. It's this excitement.
Yeah, and
right.
Once I got older, I realized, at least with my own dad, it's like, okay, all my dad wants to do is spend time with me. That's all that mattered to him. But it's very different, and I think that's where it comes from. Once you start, and I think us as your partners, I think we know what your capacity is. We know what you're capable of. Yeah. So when you're like, "Look what I got," and it's like, good, finally. Exactly. So it's like, now that you got that, now we're moving on.
What's next?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy because, of course, she's broken it down to me exactly like you have, and it always takes somebody else
to hear it from.
Yeah, for me to go.
Yeah, I probably got mad. Like, oh, you don't even know what you're talking about.
You're like,
So I'm going to go back all grateful. Babe.
I know.
You're not the only one.
We broke through today.
It's happening. We had this one. Yeah. Yo, we're wrapping up on our time, but before we go, I'd like you to mention the sweatshirt. And I'm talking to German here, and we got a really impressive sweatshirt that Rigo designed.
So, this when Kobe Bryant passed away last year, Rigo did this design for Google that went online. When you guys type in the Google search, it went there, and it was an alternate version of this. So I remember him shooting me every time Rigo does like something new. He always I'm always honored that he shoots it to me first. It's like, how do you know I'm not gonna like hack this and send it to the Russians and like leak everything? But okay, you trust me, cool. But like he shows me stuff. So I saw this a year ago, and then when he did the design for Google, it went up there. A different alternate version of it went in there, and take it from here, bro, because then Homeboy saw it.
Yeah. So the original GIF, it was like the 5 fingers, just kind of showing that he's won 5 championship, and then I initially tried to pitch the idea to Google Doodle, which is when you log into Google and you see like the headers. That's a different kind of department of it. So I designed the Google logo with different stuff of Kobe but they rejected it because they don't do death doodles. So the person has to be gone for like I think 5 years or 10 years, and then they end up honoring that person. So I ended up taking this concept and I ended up doing my own thing so I can just put it out. Whatever. A year later, I did that, and then an ex NBA player, which is what was her name? Nadia's sister's husband, just kind of clicked. And I was like, hey, like, what's up? Like, I like your stuff, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, if you ever want to collaborate, I have some stuff. Here it is. And he ended up reaching out to me and said, like, hey, like, do you mind if I use this Kobe illustration? We can put it on some shirts and on some hoodies, and, let's just see what happens. And it kind of took off. It was really cool to see, even for the finals, a Buck player rocking the sweater, which was just kind of like, wow, that's so sick. A design of mine living out there like that. And then seeing like good friends like Saturn and just like other people reach out to me like, hey man, like I bought the shirt or I bought the sweater, and it really took on a life of its own. And it was a really cool experience to have something like that was meaningful to me because of what Kobe meant. I'm sure it meant a lot to different people, but just what he meant to me, and then all of a sudden have someone associated to the NBA being used and then kind of spread like that.
And what's crazy is that the NBA player, I believe it's Jay Ruhade,
mm-hmm.
he walked into the game they won the championship on with the sweater. So that same day is when the Bucks became champions.
Yeah.
So that's just crazy to know that, like he's rocking
that
the sweater where you're designing it and all championship, bro.
Oh man, it was cool, and just blessed that he just humbled. That's all I can say. I'm just humble about anything that goes anywhere in someone's lives.
We're proud of you, bro. Even though Luisa's over there on her phone, probably checking
That's
something
cool.
else. She's like all that. She's like, oh, not even trivial. She's like, yeah, I've been there, done that. Look at me, man. Look at me. Yeah.
She's like,
are they talking about the hoodie again?
She's like, yeah, but what about the basketball player? It ain't no.
Actually, to her credit, she was like really excited about this and actually reposted it.
That was one of my proud moments.
Yeah,
I actually reposted.
Yeah.
And when I repost it, it's a big deal.
And people can still purchase it, correct?
I don't know. Because the thing is, he did a limited run. It was a limited run,
okay. which is cool because now it's
right.
That's what I was trying to find. I was trying to find the tag. It's Active Dreamers.
But yeah, I think it was a limited run, which was like you were saying, it was cool because then it's like those who got it got it.
Shit. Sorry, I'm about to break this right now. As I'm going through the Instagram right now, a Real Barcelona player is rocking the sweater.
Yeah.
This guy right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps.
So it's and then I forgot everything has kind of been coming and going for the past few weeks or few days, but I even sent that to my boss and I was like, hey, I'm international, and he was like, oh, that's sick, because he's a huge soccer fan and whatever. So it's cool. Again, it's cool, but it's one of those things where it's like, I hope these are just building blocks to continue to move forward and see what else can come my way.
And I think that's the most important key to this entire conversation is the building blocks that I think we have all set, and I could continue to set.
Yep.
Proud of myself with this show today. Like I'm manifesting us doing big interviews and just keeping this running. This time for real, not just a limited run like we've done in the past because of life. We hope to continue to do bigger things, and seeing you guys just continue to put those blocks that are becoming bigger things.
Exactly.
Like it's just crazy to see. This is crazy.
I mean, and really quickly, even with you, Saturn, even to think about a year ago, the conversations we had, and kind of like
was the president employed?
Yes, the struggle about not having employment, and then just figuring out and thinking about like, what are you going to do, and then to completely see this turn around for you is, even as friends, and I think we can all speak to this, is seeing your growth as well, and seeing you become that person that you've been saying that you've wanted to do, and see you grow, and all of a sudden he's buying LeBrons and he's out there copying shoes and sweaters. Right. It's like, okay, I see you.
It's crazy because that's the reason why we're doing this show right now, because I just feel like, again, I'm not religious, but I just feel like God does things in such a mysterious way that it's kind of like, okay, you're smack in the middle of production in a TV show. You're doing music of all things, music for a TV show, and you're also thrown in another department where you see all the shows and everything that gets televised. So I'm in these two different realms that I'm so was so unfamiliar with, but so familiar with at the same time. It all has to do with production. It's all just telling me like, dude, you need to produce something. You need to get on top of something, and you're smack in the middle of getting the inspiration. But the funny thing is that like when I'm in the middle of all this, it's when I see you guys. That's where I vicariously like live through the Instagram stories, and I see you guys gigging on the weekends and doing things when you guys are in Disneyland, and these are all things that motivate me to be like, okay, this is it's dope just to see that a year ago again, like what you guys were saying earlier, all of us lost gigs like last year, all of us collectively, and now to see us, this is the only day off that I have this week, but I'm here, and this is what has me excited. I'm sharing it with you guys, and back to the grind, and
right.
Yep.
But even that too, like even we'll flip it on you. It's like when I see you on set, like I'm like, oh, I'll tell her like, oh look, he's like here. Like to me, it's also exciting to see you in that realm because I don't know what that's like, right? So I live through you as well, and kind of curious, like, oh, what is he going to tell me? Or like, oh, I hope he talks about this at some point because I never got to experience that. But it's something you've always slowly been making or putting these building blocks to that. And it's like, that's why it's like the next step is, who knows, it might be stage production. And it's like, always think bigger. And I think that's what I've really learned through work. I went from just being like a person that just knew art to all of a sudden being in meetings where they're talking about just business and slowly learning to that too, because I had to learn how to speak in this terminology and think about, not like, we're not looking about now, we're looking about next quarter and fourth quarter and so it's the same thing with us. It's like wanting to say like, okay, cool, you're here, but what's next? Right. And it's like, cool, like I got something I wanted. Okay, but what's next? And like, how are you going to get there? What are you going to do? And then it's one of those things too, as well. It's like, you look at your data, but it's like your lifestyle, and it's like what's working and what's not. And then from there, you eliminate that, and then you just kind of continue to push and keep going. And it's just really cool. It's really cool to see all you guys, and even her. We all have breakdowns, and then we rebuild. And then I feel like at this moment, it feels really incredible to be in a room with people who are rebuilding and moving forward.
I just like the fact that we're in a round table of us just accomplishing things.
Right.
And I hope that we continue to accomplish anything that we put our minds to, and goals and dreams. And like, we all, it's funny because I just had a long conversation with Speedy up today, and I kept telling him like, bro, like, you're not washed up. Fuck your age. Fuck all that shit.
Right.
We're just getting started. Yeah. Believe it or not. Like, it's
true. It's never late and it's never early. It's literally meant to be right on time. Right on time. That's it.
I want to piggyback off of that really quick because we keep talking about the future, right? And we keep saying in 5 years, and we keep saying
manifest.
When we get that, okay, now what's next? But I want to make sure, and Rigo and I always talk about this, make sure you are enjoying right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As difficult as it is, whatever hardships we are, because, and we see it all the time. We see it in the memes and all the cliche stuff. Like, these are the good old days, quote unquote.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But they are.
Yeah.
So, as much as we want to continue to chase our dreams and continue to grow and make bigger things, make sure you stop. Your kids will never be this age again.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll never be this age again.
Right.
And, again, just earlier today, driving back to Pasadena, where we had our first little apartment after we got married, we're rolling up and we're in this phase of life where we're just like, okay, well, now we're here and we're just trying to grow our wealth at this point.
Right.
So like I teared up, I started crying, and I'm like, damn, babe, like,
come a long way.
it's, what a journey.
Right.
What a journey. And it's just a moment of reflection and gratefulness to be right where we are right now.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're still driving. You're still going.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
awesome.
and even to that too, it's like this moment, it's like, it's right now. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
I know we are.
Yeah. Go.
4 hours.
I've probably 5. I've been just like, I have fallen back the entire show for the most part, just because like I was in last year in the middle of like all the the quote unquote darkness, or just trying to figure out what the hell was gonna happen, or thinking that I was never gonna do things again, and now I'm smack in the middle of like working in TV and but I had always like that vision, like that fantasy of like, every time I when I used to always think radio or doing a show or anything, it's you guys who I see with me in an environment. Today we might be here in this podcast. I'm hoping to see you guys in the future in the TV set, in a radio, in an actual radio station.
That'd be nuts.
And I'm putting that out there right now because, look, I'm getting goosebumps as I say that, because like you guys are the ones that I have always envisioned, like riding with me in these dope things, like in these dope